Did you set up Twitch?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to another episode of the Gentleman's Code. Today is January 6th. The gentlemen are here. We're ready to go. Starting the new year off, we've been grinding, we've been working. So we're going to show up Wednesday morning. You know what we're doing. But welcome in, everyone. Gentleman's Code, episode 22. Today we have a little bit of, I think we have a few topics we're going to talk through today. Interesting stuff going on in the world, some current events. We'll keep you guys up to date with that. But how you doing, Priamo? Good morning. Happy Wednesday.
Morning, Bobby. I'm doing fantastic. So, as you're dropping in, of course, Matrix attack on my end. I can't. I can't seem to. Of course, today's topic being what we were discussing beforehand, I experienced a Matrix attack because they must have already had us bugged, and so my stream's already experiencing difficulty. So the Gentleman's Code episode 22. Give me 1 second. Bobby's live stream. I know we're getting lagged behind here. Of course, of course this is what happens. Yeah, I'm trying to go live and it's just giving me the spinning loading screen.
Yeah, that happened to
Yeah.
me a couple weeks ago when I was trying to go live on X. I just
hmm
turned it off on X and then I did it on YouTube and it worked.
Of course, X. All right. Of course, makes sense. Makes all right. Let me turn off X then. All right, then we're gonna do this, and let's see if this works. Boom. Look at that. Of course, Bobby,
Yep.
you're a genius. Genius. All right, so let me drop in real quick. Doodle-doodle-doo. Mr. Producer. All right, drop in. All right, that works. All right, we're in. All right. So where were we at? Fucking
Just the intro, just saying what's up to the people. Good morning. Hump day.
yes. Yeah. A lot of you guys don't know about that, but me and Bob, we know about Hump Day. So, all right, we got to get right into it because we were talking beforehand, and it's just
There's a lot
it's
to
eating
touch
at
on with
me.
that topic.
It's been eating at me. So Pompino is coming in, dick swinging, dick swinging, dude. This guy's giving press conferences, and I'm finding out we're acquiring Greenland, bro. We might Canada might be the 51st state. Mexico might be joining the union. We might be picking. The Gulf of America. Are you kidding me? Outrageous,
That that
and I
one
love it.
that one caught me off guard. I've never thought of that one.
This is what I'm saying. We need guys like Trumpino. Pompino is this guy's groundbreaking. He comes up with things that the normal person doesn't come up with. Like this is the type of guy you need in power. And I saw some people making fun of it, making comments like a lot of change seems to be coming. I'm like, yeah, that's the kind of change that we need. Yeah, name it the Gulf of America. Why the fuck is it the Gulf of Mexico? Fuck Mexico. Might as well be the Gulf of America, the America Canal. Fuck Panama. It's gonna be the America. Name it all after America. Why not? What? Why not? So
The Panama
yeah, you
Canal
gotta.
is a good one. The American Canal.
Yeah, the American Canal. I mean, we're probably the ones who fucking protect it anyways with our military force. Same thing with Canada. Same thing with Mexico. Mexico's sending us the fucking cartel, so we might as well take in Mexico with all the drugs and all the shit they're bringing into the U.S. So we might as well just make it a part of the U.S. So yeah, what what are you thinking about Pompino right now?
I think, yeah, he's going in guns a-blazing for sure. I saw one of the reporters asked, they're like, can you guarantee to the world that you're not going to use military or economic force to take Greenland and Canada? He's like, no. He's like, can't guarantee that. Which he's
Yeah,
like, keeping the cards close to the chest. You don't want these countries to know what you're going to negotiate in a deal like this. You just keep it to yourself. He gets in the office in 12 days, 13 days. Just keep it close to the chest. And when you get in there, he's going to lay all the cards out on the table and say, this is what we're going to do. But what's interesting about the Panama Canal is that America actually built the Panama Canal. And what Trump said was that we originally used it for our military, for our Navy ships to go from the Pacific to the Atlantic or vice versa from the Gulf of America to the Pacific. So why we lost that and now we pay all-time high fees to go through, while Panama lets other countries just pretty much go through for free. Trump's like, that's not going to happen anymore. That not on my watch, which is exactly what we've talked about over the past couple of months of like people ripping off America, Trump getting America back to a status where like you're not going to rip us off, you have to respect us. So I love it.
Right. Yeah, I love it because why are we going to spend all this money for all these other countries to protect them, to overfund NATO, overfund these other organizations, just because we have the strongest currency, we have the highest GDP, we're the richest nation in the world. Cool, those are all great things, but that doesn't mean just get fucked over. You don't become the most successful, wealthy person in the world by just getting fucked over by other people during business deals. Whenever Elon Musk grew his businesses, he didn't just go to everybody and say, "Oh yeah, just because I have money now, I'm going to overpay for everything. I'm going to get fucked on this deal, get fucked on that deal." That's what the politicians in the U.S. government have been doing is, "Oh, we have a bunch of money. Let's just overpay, do this. Oh,
Yeah.
that's fine. We have it. We got it." But then you see how quickly we spiral into debt and over leverage ourselves and put ourselves in a situation where the country's now, well, how rich is the country? We're in trillions and trillions of dollars of debt. So Trump's coming in saying, like a traditional businessman, saying, well, if we're going to be doing deals, I wrote a book called The Art of the Deal. I'm not going to be out here getting fucked just on deals just because we're the U.S. No, we're going to impose our will the way that we do militarily across the world, except through economic power. So yeah, of course he's going to impose tariffs, impose these things on Canada and Mexico to make them actually want to join the nation.
Shout out to W Pizzle, our first subscriber on Twitch while live streaming on Twitch. What a fucking G.
Come on, Pezzy.
Welcome in, Pizzle.
Pizzle, he loves the Pino. He loves what Trumpina is doing
Yeah,
right
he
now.
must.
I bet
He must.
yeah. Yeah. He had a sub. He said, Greenland, bring him in. Bring him in. Bring in the Greenman. What do you even call people from Greenland? Greenish.
Americans.
Americans.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing about Greenland and Canada. Well, actually, Canada's a little different. If you look at just the Greenland deal that could go down, what are some of the most memorable deals in American history? The Louisiana Purchase, which we bought like tons of land from the Mississippi River over to it's not like I guess Texas wasn't part of that deal yet, but all up through the Midwest, one of the largest land deals in American history. And then to acquire Alaska as well, another huge deal that America has got. Not only like just landmass wise, but we get so much oil from them, lumber, trees, all these different things we get from Alaska. And what I think Greenland can do is provide like that next purchase for America. It's like, okay, we bought Greenland and here's what they provide for us. I really don't know much about Greenland. If you guys do in the chat, please let us know what Greenland provides. But what I think and what I've heard Trump talk about yesterday is kind of the need for national security. It seems Russia and China, they kind of post their ships up in the Arctic up there, and they're all around Greenland. So I think from a standpoint of national security for America, that's what they would want to do it for. And from what I've seen pictures of it, Greenland looks beautiful as well. Maybe we'll have to take a gentleman's trip up there to Greenland and see what it's all about. Do some skiing.
Yeah, yeah. As soon as we bring it into the U.S., bang, we don't even need a passport. Just go ahead and pop on a flight, go to Greenland, chilling. We're beautiful. And that's the thing. So we talked about this before with America and how there's nothing really exciting going on in America. We're not really building new things, innovating in a way where it's exciting. These other nations are doing it, et cetera. Pompeo finally gets elected. And he's coming in. He's saying, "Fuck it. We're growing the U.S. We're bringing in countries. We're buying this. We're buying that." That's the shit that's exciting. So I don't even know why anybody would be, oh, why would we buy Greenland? Why not? We have all this money. We love sending it all over the world and giving it to other people so they can buy things with it and they can kill people with it, etc. Why don't we fucking do something with the money that's going to benefit the U.S. like fucking buy Greenland? Hell yeah. Go grab Greenland, use it as a security measure against these other nations. That was the same thing that Trump was saying about Canada. It's like we protect Canada anyways. Our military is the one that protects them. The Russia, China, they have their ships up there. Again, same thing towards Canada, near Alaska as well. Why not just bring in Canada if we're going to be paying for all their military resources and protect them with our military anyways? Well, they might as well just be a part of our GDP. They might as well be a part of our nation. Like, why not? And so I'm curious to see what he does. People probably don't see the Canada thing happening, and I'm sure nobody believes that could actually happen. But if he fucks them up with tariffs and imposes economic pressure on them to the point where they're going to have to do something about it, I don't see why he wouldn't be able to bring them into the US. Like, what would prevent them from doing that? And why would you prevent them from doing that?
Yeah, I don't. If I know I'm not a Canadian, but if you think about it, Canada has way higher taxes than any of the highest tax states in America, New York, California. Their taxes are even higher than then. So right off the bat, they'd be the highest tax. Trump promised to cut taxes for them, which I'm sure Canadians would love. And also, just the Canadian dollar is not as strong as the U.S. dollar of things we talked about, like tariffs and things like that. So if they were able to have a little economic pressure relief from transferring their Canadian dollars into U.S. dollars, now they have full military protection. I believe it's NORAD, North Atlantic something air defense, our air defense, but that's what we use to cover the Canada is the NORAD treaty. So yeah, I think from an economic standpoint, it makes a lot of sense for Canadian people to want to be part of the U.S. I guess the topic comes up as the culture differences. Like, they're probably
Nah.
very quiet up there. They don't, and then being a loud American. But the benefits that they would get from joining the United States is way better than the benefits of them staying in their own country longer under tariffs and under all these economic pressures that Trump's going to put on them.
Correct. Yeah, it would be better for the nation. So why would you not do it? Because like you said, what do you benefit from being Canada as opposed to just being a part of the U.S.? What benefit is there outside of, oh well, we're different culturally? Well, you motherfuckers got Drake, and Drake's pretty much our culture now anyway. So you guys are
Is
Americans.
he our top
So
pick? Our top Canadian pick, really?
yeah. Drake is the best Canadian for sure. I'll give it to him. But that's what I'm saying. They have Drake, so they're American enough. They got one of the best rappers in the world. So they're fine. They'll be able to assimilate. I mean, Canada has American sports teams. They got the Toronto Raptors. They got the fucking Toronto Maple Leafs. They got the what are they? Senators? Yeah, Ottawa Senators. Yeah, they
The
got
Blue Jays.
yeah, the Blue Jays, the fucking yeah, all of them. So so Canada will be fine. They'll be able to assimilate just fine. And same thing with Trudeau, Bumdo. He just resigned. I know that from what I understand, he resigned because the next political opponent that was going to run against him was pretty much going to smoke him. Is that right? Or why exactly did Trudeau resign? Do you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I think he just couldn't take the pressure of what was about to come with Trump. I think he was already catching a lot of heat once he went down there to Mar-a-Lago. Trump probably laid out a whole plan for him of what he was going to do. But yeah,
Right.
you're right. I forget his name, that guy, but I know who you're talking about. He's the leader of the Conservative Party in Canada. So that's another thing too. Like if Canada wants to be part of the United States,
Uh-huh.
some people, maybe half the population, half of them do, half of them don't, whatever it is, leave it up to a general election vote. And the next Canadian prime minister vote, put a little tally box at the bottom. Should Canada be part of the United States? And then yes or no to checkbox and see what they get. If the prime minister, I don't think the prime minister, this new prime minister would want to, because he's showing that he wants to uphold Canadian values, Canadian sovereignty, like be able to make decisions for their own people,
Right.
which I understand. But in the long run, if you're the prime minister of Canada that was able to make a deal with Trump to become the 51st state of America, you're going to go down in the history books way more than whatever you're going to do as, the prime minister for another 4 years.
Exactly. And correct, exactly. You're going to be way more of a hero because you're going to be part of one of the biggest, you know, or not economic, I guess, one of the most incredible change of borders in human history, most certainly in American history. So I looked up Trudeau. Why did Trudeau resign? It says Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau on Monday said that he would step down in the coming months after 9 years in power, which I'm interested to see how that works with their term limits because obviously it's not a 2 4-year terms because he was in for 9 years. It said bowing to pressure from lawmakers alarmed by his Liberal Party's miserable showing in pre-election polls. Yep.
Hmm.
A subdued Trudeau among the most prominent progressive leaders in the world. Yeah, bomb. Told a press conference that he would stay on both as prime minister and liberal leader until the party chooses a new chief within months. This country deserves a real choice in the next election. Become clear to me that If I'm having to fight internal battles, I cannot be the best option in that election, Trudeau said. So he's trying to blame infighting in his own party, when in reality, it's just people, they don't fuck with Trudeau, which makes sense. You see this shift happening across the world right now where all at the same time, people are rejecting this liberal politics, these liberal views that were getting shoved down everybody's throats for the last 12 years in the Western countries and Western civilization. You see it getting pushed back very heavily right now. It started with Trump in 2016. Other countries continue to go down that rabbit hole. We got 1 4 year break until going back to it, and then getting back Trump. This time you can tell a lot of the citizens across the world in these different countries are pushing back on this liberalism, this progressive fake wokeness that essentially is surface level sympathy for people that you shouldn't even have sympathy for, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, we should have sympathy for illegal immigrants coming into the country that are committing crimes, where 159 Democrats voted against a bill to go ahead and get these people removed from our country. Well, in what world does that make sense? What kind of sympathy, inclusionism, everybody, trying to help everybody kind of mindset is that? That you would prefer to protect the criminals as opposed to the victims? It's fucking stupid. And so people are seeing this and they're saying, well, I don't want this in my country. Why would I want legislators, 159 Democrats who voted against deporting illegal immigrants who, number one, came in illegally already, so they should be deported regardless. But not only are they illegal, but then they're committing illegal crimes in our country when they got here, and they didn't want to deport them. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, you're talking about that Lake and Riley bill that Congress just passed,
Yeah.
saying that if an illegal immigrant is picked up on a burglary crime, like any crime, that they're going to be deported, which makes total sense. I don't understand what the big commotion is. If you're here illegally and you're doing illegal stuff, you got to go. All right,
Yeah.
it's a basic line that has to be drawn in the sand. But yeah, 150 some Democrats voted no against it. Why? Well, I don't know. That's just kind of ridiculous to me. Even a Democrat, I saw John Fetterman of Pennsylvania, I think your district area over there. He even came out and said it doesn't make any sense. This is the reason why they lost the 2024 election, is because of ideas like this, and they don't seem to understand that people do not want this. People do not want this. There's actually a debate. Kind of to stay on the same topic, but different H1V1s with Elon and Vivek. I don't know if you saw that last week. So I don't know what you thought about that, and that they're saying that we do need immigration, right? They're not saying that we don't need immigrants. Everybody knows we need immigrants to do high-skilled jobs, high-paying jobs that maybe a lot of Americans can't do. And it's true. A lot of Americans are pretty dumb and are handicapped or have been to jail. They're ex-felons. They can't do these jobs. There's only a select amount of percentage of the workforce that is able to do these jobs. So bringing people in via H-1B1s to work at some of these high-tech companies to do these jobs is needed. So that's a different story, but I just wanted to bring that up. I don't know if you saw that.
I didn't see that on Vivek and Elon, but it makes sense. I mean, of course, that's the whole point that people are making, is it's nobody's saying that you shouldn't have immigration. The whole point is you shouldn't have illegal immigration. The same way that you say you wouldn't want illegal things by U.S. citizens done, right? If a U.S. citizen does something illegal, you'll put them in jail. But if somebody comes here illegally because they're not a U.S. citizen, we no longer want to punish them. How is that putting Americans first? How does that put the people first? It doesn't make any sense. So you have less rights as a citizen within your own country than somebody who comes here illegally. That person has more rights than you. That person gets more aid than you. This person gets more free food, money on a debit card, place to stay, push them. What? What? And this is why people are pushing back against it, because it's fucking insanity. And that's why Fetterman, like you said, went on Fox News, and I have huge respect for him, because people should understand at the end of the day, it's not about parties. People think in parties, people get upset. Well, this person thinks that, and just because they're part of this party, I'm not going to agree with them on anything, etc. It's just this ideology battle that comes of it, which is so stupid. It's not about parties or nothing like that. It's just about being truthful in what's actually happening and what actually is correct. And Fetterman, like you said that. He goes, I don't understand what's controversial about deporting illegal aliens who are doing illegal crimes in the US. This is why the Democrats lost the election because 159 of them voted no against that. And the American people are looking at them like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So yeah, dude, it's outrageous. People think, they're shocked that they're losing support when in reality it shouldn't be shocking at all. It's pretty quite obvious.
It
It's
is.
just they're doing things that don't make sense.
Yeah, it's quite obvious, and it goes back to what we're saying with Trudeau in Canada. It's he knows he's not going to win. He knows that his time is over, so he's on the way out now. I do kind of like some of the things that this new prime minister said. I can't remember his name. It's some French name.
Yeah.
Pavel. I don't want to say it's like Pavel, something with a P. Um, but yeah, he's gonna win the election, and we'll see what happens with the annexation of Canada and the United States. I think I would take them in, the brothers up north in. Um, we'd be able to go up there easily now, as opposed to crossing the border. And Trump said it too. It's like an imaginary line. There's an imaginary line that runs across, North Dakota through Wisconsin up over the Great Lakes. He's like, let's just remove that imaginary line and let's have one of the largest landmass countries ever to exist. And I like the idea of it because Canada is not that much different from the United States as opposed to the Mexico border. If you open up that Mexico border and have that free flow from Texas, New Mexico, Arizona straight in, it's going to look a lot different. We've already seen what's been going on down there through the southern border. So that's a whole nother story. But I think the Canadian border, that imaginary line that runs through forest, and it's not even real, will open up so much trade value for North America, from lumber to oil. The amount of oil Canada has is ridiculous in itself. And how much wars we fought in the past over oil in Iraq and all that kind of stuff that comes with that. So now you have the ability to partner with one of the largest oil exporters and lumber exporters. America faces a housing crisis. How do you build houses? You use lumber. So it just is like there's all different things that I think the Trump team is working on and thinking about that they're going to try to take steps in 2025 to do.
Yeah. And again, I agree with it. It's not like it's a country in the middle of the Middle East and you want to try to somehow absorb that into the US and then protect it from, our soil. No. Canada is literally on the same soil as us. Like you said, arbitrary line in the sand. It's right there. It's connected to us. It's one landmass. So what would be the difference in just removing that border and saying, all right, now we're all the US? What actually would be beneficial to us because now you know, we're not operating as if it's a different entity. It's just a part of the United States. I mean, think about the U.S. whenever it first, was colonized. There were 13 colonies, and then of course there were not always 50 states. Over time, the U.S. continued to grow, add more states, add more states, add more land, buy more land. Like that's just the process of building a nation. So why, now that we have 50 states, would we never ever grow again? It's like, no, what's the point in stopping? All right, if we've been stagnant, we haven't had a new state since 1962, I believe, is whenever they did Alaska and Hawaii, was in 62. Why not? Why stop there? Why are we done? Okay, let's grab Canada. Let's grab fucking Greenland. Why not? If other nations are going to do it, if we're going to get dicked around, if we got to impose our will again on the world, then let's go ahead and pick up some nations. We're not doing it by coming in and occupying and fucking destroying the government and killing the people. No, economic pressure. You can't manage to be a nation on your own once we apply economic pressure. Well, what's your solution? Well, I suppose you just might as well become a part of the United States. Okay, we'll sign here. Okay,
Simple.
let's do
Yeah,
it.
get it done.
Get it done, Pino. Come on, Pompino. Imagine we start picking up Canada, Greenland. That's gonna be fired up. Finally, something to be excited about, something to be
Yeah.
fired up about. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about.
And I saw some street interviews too. A lot of the Canadians they interviewed are about it. They're like, yeah, why wouldn't we want to join the largest GDP country from an economic standpoint? Of course they do. They're facing a lot of hardships, that like they're not lining their pockets like Trudeau is every month to get a check. So a lot of Canadians are struggling. So becoming part of the United States can help them out a lot. And I
Yeah.
also saw another thing. It was more of a map, but over 75% of Canadians live within 100 miles of the U.S. border. So Toronto, Quebec, all those big cities there here on the East Coast are all pretty close to America. They're not that far at all. From what we were talking about, a cultural standpoint, a cultural difference, they're not that far from the Buffalo, New York, or Maine even. So it's
Yep.
it's not that big of a deal.
Yep. No, yeah, you're right. It's everything is concentrated right along the border, the vast majority of the Canadian population, because nobody's wanting to live up at the fucking North Pole.
Yeah, it's
It's
cold.
way too cold. Yeah, way too cold, too much snow, etc. Yeah, so everybody's right there. So all you gotta do is take that fucking little line that you got right there, and these, 30, 50 miles of land above that line where majority of the Canadian population lives, and just say, and just boop, bring them right in. Easy money, baby. Come on now. Come on, Pino. Pino is going to get it done. I think Pompino will get it done. So the Canada thing would be sick. That would be sick.
Hmm.
That one will definitely be a lot more difficult to do as opposed to Greenland. Greenland, I'm sure they can make that
Yeah,
happen.
there's only like 30,000 people that live there, so.
Right. Yeah. And then you see them. Was it Eric Trump Jr. or Eric Trump or was it Donald
It
Trump
was
Jr.?
Don Jr.
Don Jr. Yeah, pulls up. He's there with the one guy, Dan. No, no, not Dan. It's what's his name? The guy who does the sit downs in Arizona all the time at the college campuses. He
Oh, with
has,
Turning Point,
yeah, what's his name?
Charlie
Charlie
Kirk.
Kirk.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was with he brought a crew, the Greenland people. I mean, not Greenland people, the Americans in Greenland were all fired up. They were like, they got their fucking, Make America Great Again hats. Bring them in, baby, bring them in. What are they doing in Greenland? What are they doing in Greenland? What are they doing in Greenland? Come on now. You bring
Freezing.
Greenland in, you start bringing those people, you show them Miami, you show them Los Angeles. Bro, they'll be losing their minds. All they've seen is snow their entire lives. You bring them to Miami, they see some Latina booty in the fucking by the beach. Their heads will explode. Why would we not bring them in? We got to save these people, bro. They haven't seen Miami, so bring them in. Dude, they see a Latina, their heads will fucking explode. So, yeah, bring them in, bro.
Also, like Greenland's pretty close to Europe. Like I don't like. I think like the Europeans, like it's a good midway point for us to be have a nice like a military base out there would be beneficial to all of NATO because we already protect all of Europe pretty much with our dollars. So to be able to build a big military base out there, Navy shipyards, have submarines sitting out there in case things go down, like they're saying, it's like strategic for military operations to take control of the Arctic Ocean. I mean, it just everything. I haven't heard a bad case against these deals yet. That's what I'm trying to say. Like nobody has said,
Right.
"Oh, we can't do this because the people of Greenland, they really hate Trump." Or I haven't heard anything. They love Trump. That's whatever. I don't know. I haven't heard a bad. I haven't heard an opposition yet.
Yes. And here's the other thing, too. Think of it like this. If anybody told you, they come up to you, Bobby, and they said, all right, I'm thinking about making an investment. What does everybody say? Oh, they're not making more land. Oh, homes always appreciating asset, et cetera. And if you told somebody, you came up to them and you said, hey, listen, I'm thinking about purchasing, 10,000 acres of land, 1,000 acres of land. I'm going to buy this huge ranch in Texas. When any financial advisor, any person who's got money tell you, oh, yeah, that's pretty stupid to buy more land, to buy more property, to buy more things that they're not making more of. That's stupid. Nobody would tell you that. Everybody you went up to and said, "Oh, should I buy more land? Should I buy more properties?" They'd say, "Yeah, that's pretty smart. That's a good idea." So what's the difference with acquiring Canada and Greenland? I'm just picking up more land, baby. This is more investment value. This is more land that we own. So over time, it's going to appreciate. And like I said, maybe Pompino wants to do a quick deal, buys Greenland for pennies on the dollar, does a quick flip 5 years later, 4 years later at the end of the administration, picks it up for a couple trill. Oh, boom! Throw that into the economy or whatever. Yeah, you never know what he's trying to do. But that's what I'm saying is anybody would tell you, oh, buying more land is not a bad investment. So why would we not get Greenland then? It's more land. Should be a good investment, right?
And with the ridiculous amounts of money we spend elsewhere, especially in the past 4 years with the Biden administration in Ukraine or wherever we're fighting wars, 20 billion a month to Ukraine. How much you buy Greenland for? Is it 100 billion? Is it 200 billion? Like what's the number? And what have we spent that money like in our sleep over the past 4 years is the question. Because if we had, I'm sure the American people would rather invest it in land like you're talking about. Because at the end of the day, it's our money. It's like, where do we want to invest our money? If the United States could pick up 400 million square miles in Greenland, I'm for it. That's good use of American tax dollars, not just sending it to Ukraine to kill Russians and to kill Ukrainian soldiers and to
Yep.
test drone warfare. Nobody cares
Yep.
about that stuff. That's a small percentage of the military industrial complex wanting to test their products and to warmonger. I'm pretty sure like a lot of Americans would want to invest in the country, invest in land, like you're talking about.
Hmm. That's a great point. Yeah, that's such a good point. How much money have we spent sending to Ukraine, funding these wars, funding the wars in the Middle East, etc.? How much do we spend doing that, and then how much does it cost to buy Greenland? Correct. So what would have been a better use of our tax dollar money? And if you gave us a vote, if you gave the American people a vote, okay, send $1 trillion, or let's say $100 billion to Ukraine to go fight a war that no American wants to be in or be a part of, or you could vote on 100 billion being used to buy Greenland. Everybody's voting Greenland. Let's pick up Greenland, baby. So that's what I'm saying. That's why they don't even give us the option, because they know what we're going to choose, and
Yeah.
they don't want us to choose. It's well, we're going to do what we want to do because we know better, right? We're smarter, we're better, we're the what's it called? The ruling class. We're not going to tell you what we're going to do. It's classified. You guys don't need to know about it. But just make sure you keep giving us all your money every single year in taxes, and then we're just gonna go, just do what we feel like we should do. Nah, nah, fuck that. So, no, I love it. I love the energy Trumpino's coming with. It's good. Let's get some change. People think it's funny. People are like, oh, the Gulf of America. That's the kind of attitude I need. I want a fucking savage in office. I want a dude who wants to fucking win. I don't care if you think it's funny to change the name of the Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America. Again, why not? Fuck it. Let's go. Gulf of America. Let's do it. Let's make America great again. Why are we gonna keep fucking sitting in the shadows, letting people fuck us over just because we got a couple of bucks? Nah, let's go. Gulf of America.
I saw that too, and someone was like, how does he plan to do that? I was like, he's going to take the Navy and he's going to park in the Gulf of Mexico, and now it's called the Gulf of America. That's as simple as that. You take some Navy ships, you park them
Yep.
out there for 7 days, and you're going to say, come and take it
Gulf
if you
of
want
America.
it. Yeah, it's Gulf of America.
Yep.
Like that's all it takes. It doesn't really take anything. And with that, I saw people like, oh, well, this is abandoning his America First ideas. He's looking to already buy all these other countries and take over. But it goes back to what we said, though. This is investing in America. This is taking in other countries that maybe produce things like Canada. They have lumber, oil, like we talked about. And that helps the American economy because now we could get it not. Now we don't have to do tariffs. We don't have to do these trade deficits where we've been losing millions and billions of dollars to Canada. So it is in America a first approach, just like our original founders did. They landed in Virginia, Norfolk, Virginia, and they went down and they started colonizing the East Coast. It's different now, though. We don't have to go through pillaging pilgrims and Indians to get land now. It's easy as you guys want to be part of America. We'll pay you for it. We'll pay you for your land, and it's an easier way, less what's the word?
Less violent.
Yeah, less violent way of
Right. And like you said, America first. It is America first because instead of just wiping somebody's ass that's not a part of the US by funding them with our money, by protecting them militarily, instead of wiping their ass, a different country that's not America, if we're going to be doing it anyways, we may as well make them a part of our nation. So at least we're wiping our own ass. Like, if we're going to be taking care of you and we're going to be funding you and protecting you, etc., you may as well be a part of our nation because we're doing it already. So what's the difference? Now at least you're a part of our nation. We can have our citizens move there freely. Your citizens can move here freely. We can go ahead and avoid the economic barriers that you have through tariffs, through trade, through taxes, importing, exporting, etc. We might as well just be part of the same nation. Cut out the bullshit. Cut out the middleman. Just grow our nation, grow our power. Okay, now we can impose our will around the world in a way where it's not militarily. It's not where we're killing people and we're
yeah,
sending people over to
exactly.
fight wars that we don't have to. No, now we can do it economically, right? So that, of course, it's America first. 100%. Growing your nation and growing the GDP and growing your investments is America first. It is. Any good businessman will tell you that's a smart thing to do.
And you know what I just thought of too, which is brilliant, and it's kind of a kick in the nuts to Putin, because what has Putin been doing for the past 4 years? He's been fighting a terrible war for 200 to 300 square miles on the eastern side of Ukraine. Trump's going to come in, work a deal with Greenland, work a deal with Canada. Now his country's the largest country to ever exist. And what did he do? Didn't kill a single soldier anywhere. So it's going to be a kick in the nuts to Putin and Russia. But listen, you guys were fighting this war over here, for 4 years, doing absolutely nothing. You've accomplished nothing. You just destroyed eastern Ukraine for no reason. And look at what we did in 6 months as the president. That's the ultimate. That's the
Deal
ultimate.
making.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Deal making, baby. That's what it is. Making good fucking deals. That's what he does. He makes deals. Yeah, I mean, it should be done that way. People should encourage that as opposed to the military, imposing of will around the world and killing people. That's not the way that you want to do things. If you're going to grow, if you're going to do things, you can do it economically. You can do it through business deals. Put people in difficult situations where you have leverage to go ahead and apply that pressure, get what you want without having to kill people, right? So, no, I love it. Now, one other one we got to talk about the fucking failing nation of the United Kingdom and their newest candidate for prime minister. Vote, bruv. Mr. Andrew Tate fucking running for the British Parliament. So, or not I don't know what you would call it, but I know he's running for the prime minister.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Do you think he's actually, well, I know he's serious because that's how the fuck he is. He's serious in the same way that they thought about Trump. Oh, he can't be serious. This isn't real. This is how they're going to think about Tate. But do you think he actually could win? Do you think he would actually win and do anything over there in the UK?
So yes, I think he's serious, and I think he has a uphill battle, um, because of the deep kind. You think America has a deep state? I think the UK has a deep, deep pit. Like they're really deep state, going back to the royal family, the Queen, the King, the ties they have inside of the Parliament and things like that. I think it's going to be a really, really tough battle for him, but on the other hand, and I was listening to his emergency meeting yesterday for a little bit, and he started naming some of the leaders inside of the Parliament of the UK, saying just random names. And he's like, "Who are these people? Like, have you ever heard of these people? I haven't. Who are they?" He's like, "If these people could win, why can't I win?" Which is a fair point. My one thing with him is that he's been probably the most controversial man over the past 5 years. So that kind of I mean, it plays a benefit, but also kind of takes away maybe some of his voters. But he is popular enough to get his name out there. It's not a large landmass like America, so all he has to do is go to the UK and kind of, stand his ground there and run for office in the UK, which I think he'll do, and I think he will. If he's got the money for it, I know he's got the money for it, so he'll be good from that standpoint. So yeah, I mean, I think he has a chance to win. Maybe he won't be the prime minister right away. Maybe he has to settle for a lesser position inside of Parliament. But I mean, it's good experience for him nonetheless. But I would like to see it.
Yeah, I think it would be incredible. I mean, you see what's happening right now with the rape gangs that they have out in the UK that they were covering up and hiding, the Pakistani rape gangs, and you see the state of the knife violence, similar to just stemming from the illegal immigration that the UK is seeing. The citizens again, they're getting so sick of just harboring, taking care of people who are coming in to destroy their nation and take over their nation and change the culture of their nation, change the way that they live their life, change the things that they believe. And the British people are saying, why the fuck are we doing this? We're getting absolutely decimated. Our women are getting raped. Our children are getting fucking stabbed. People are getting murdered. These people are coming in and disrespecting our way of life, right? If you want to bring in immigrants, that's fine, but those immigrants will assimilate to our culture, right? That's why you immigrate to our nation because you want to be a part of our nation, not you coming to our nation to turn it into your nation. So
So that's why you take
the
the test, right? The citizens test.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah. When you become a U.S. citizen, you take a test and see if you know the founding fathers. You understand how the government is set up. You understand how the nation works. What's the language? That's the way that it should be because you're coming to our country. If you want to come to our country, you operate how our country operates. You're more than welcome to come legally if you would like to, but you're not coming here to change our culture, our way of thinking, our way of life. Hey, listen, we're going to definitely take your ideas in and consider the way that you do things. And if we see something that we like and it makes sense for the society as a whole, yeah, we'll implement it. But you don't come to our nation and change the way that we move, we operate. That's not how it works. So the environment is ripe in the UK for somebody like Tate, similar to Trump, the way he won in 2016. For someone like Tate to be able to win, the environment is right because the people are pissed off, they're fed up. The youth of the UK, especially the men, of course, the young men in the UK love Tate. They fucking love them. So it'll just be interesting to see how he's able to acquire a vote outside of that demographic. It would be interesting to see how he does that. But I listened to same thing, his emergency meeting where he's talking about what he's going to do for the nation and what he won't allow and what he will make happen. Everything sounds great. Everything sounds good. Yeah, no more illegal immigration. That's good. Stop the knife violence. That sounds good too. Bring back, restore faith in the British government. That sounds great too. Bring the UK back to its glory, one of the biggest, most successful empires of all time in human history. Bring that back. That sounds like a good thing. So he's going to say the right things. And he's going to do the things that he says he's going to do. It's just whether or not he can actually win will be interesting to see. We'll see. I mean, I hope he does though. That'd be sick.
And if we've learned anything about him over the past couple of years is that he's not going to sell his morals for money or to get out of jail even, right? He could have easily taken a deal, said, "Hey, I didn't do this with this woman," and been in jail for who knows how long. He stuck to his word even though they put him in jail for a year, right? He never switched up. He never said anything other than the truth, which if you're somebody in the UK, you might not like what he says, but you're like, "Hey, at least this guy is honest. At least this guy is truthful in what he says." Because he could have been in a jail cell, taking a deal for something he didn't even do, or anything like that. So, if, like with the they said I don't know, they gave him so many different things that they said he did, from tax evasion to sexual assault, all that kind of stuff. But he stuck to his word because he said he was correct. His word is bond, and you know how, if you guys watch him, how he operates. When he says he's going to do something, he does it. So I think I think he's a good candidate from that perspective. He's not going to say different things and then go into office and switch up and completely do something different. Mm-hmm. But another thing about the UK, kind of going back to this, the Pakistani gang rapes and things like that, is the ability of free speech in the UK. It doesn't really exist, right? They're putting people in jail for Facebook post on X, and now even saying that they're going to arrest Elon Musk because of what the platform he provides. So it just makes you think, like, the UK they never had free speech. Like, you can't just go there and say whatever you want. Going back to, I don't even know how long, from ancient times. Why do you think the American settlers left the UK to come to America? And what did they learn from that? They knew right away the first thing they had to write was the ability of free speech. It was the first thing they writ when they left the UK to come land in America. Why would they make that the first thing they wrote? Because they knew how important it was, and they knew that the king and queen in England wasn't giving that to them. So they knew how important it was. And now you're seeing how important it is in today's day and age. Because look at what's going on in America now, and look at what's going on in the UK. America's is on the rise now because of a good election that was able to happen because of free speech. And the UK is going the opposite way because of the suppression of free speech and ideals, and especially of the ideas of bad people, of what they're doing. Nobody's able to speak out against it.
Right. And with the thing that you said about the Constitution, that's being the first thing that they wrote down, is huge, because those people who wrote that document understood what it was like living under the United Kingdom's power. They were, to a degree, an oppressed people. They didn't feel that they were getting the same rights, the same treatment as the UK citizens in the UK. So when they broke free from that, they fought the Revolutionary War. They finally gained their freedom from the United Kingdom, right? This imperial power. They finally break free. They get their freedom. They can operate the way that they want to. They want to be able to, practice the religions they want to be able to practice, etc. They wrote the Constitution under that context, understanding what it was like being under an oppressive power. That's why they knew how important the freedom of speech was. That's why they knew how important it was to be able to bear arms. Because if the citizens are not bearing arms, if you cannot have a local militia, a militia of the people, the people having the ability to defend themselves from the government, they knew what that would lead to: complete and total oppression. People in the U.S. who think that they need to outlaw guns and remove all weapons from citizens, etc., and only people who should have control and power and weapons is the government. How? And I don't mean this in a Oh, just because you think differently than me, that you're stupid. No, I mean this in a total, very real, very truthful sense. If you think that, you are retarded, because you're fucking stupid. Because as soon as you give all the power and you put a monopoly of violence and you put that monopoly in the hands of the government, you are fucked. You are now praying to God every single day that you don't get people in power that are going to oppress you and kill you and want to, perform a genocide on your race or on your type of people. You're just praying for that not to happen. You're just hoping and assuming that the government's going to always operate in your best interest. You can't do that. The people need to be armed so that if a government ever comes into place that wants to oppress them, that they can fight back. That was the context in which the Constitution was written. And so these people who think guns should be outlawed for the citizens are foolish. You don't do that.
They're drinking
This,
the government propaganda for sure. That's all that
yeah.
is. The people that tell you that, oh, the government needs to take all the guns in Canada. This is what Canada did, by the way. That's just government propaganda getting you to do exactly what they want you to do, just like Priamo said. If the citizens aren't armed to do anything ever when you go to take over, they have a cakewalk to take over and implement total tyranny into the citizenship. That's all it is.
Yeah, it does not make sense. You have to understand the context in which these people wrote the Constitution. If they weren't armed, guess what? There's no fucking America. Did you ever consider that? If these people in the United States were not armed to go ahead and fight the Revolutionary War, there's no America. It never exists. It never happens because the people aren't armed. The only reason that we were able to fight this war against the United Kingdom, the British Empire, is because they were armed. They were being oppressed. They were armed. They fought back. They fought a war. Understand that the whole reason that the United States exists is because the people were armed. They bared arms. And now that you're happy that, how convenient, now that we've developed the greatest nation on the planet, the greatest empire over the last 200-300 years, because we had the right to bear arms, now you want to decide, you know what, but that's actually bad. It's bad that citizens have that. It's bad that the citizens have guns. That's the whole reason the fucking country exists. Numb nuts. So now you want to take away the right from people that created this country in the first place because you're so ignorant of the way that this country was founded, on how the war was fought to get ourselves out of that British Empire. These people don't understand. They don't think. They don't understand history. You do not take away the ability to bear arms from the people.
And it
Yeah,
is.
dude.
It's you got to understand history. You have to understand the context of which these documents were written and why they were written. And thing like you said, things are different now. We've evolved into 200 and I believe 249 years of America. So things look different, right? Technologically, we advance. We have more advanced weapons than we did back there. I'm not denying that. But so does the military, right? The military has more advanced weapons to take over the country if they wanted to. So it's important that we have law and order. So not only are good citizens have weapons and able to defend themselves from bad people, from bad government, but we have to have a police force that is good and strong, that people that do abuse the Second Amendment to either kill people, to just gang violence, whatever it is, we need law and order for that. These law enforcement officers could go through and clean up the streets of these bad people and get them out, and not invite more in from other nations everywhere else to also take part in this unlawlessness. So having good law and order is also going to protect these values of the Second Amendment, because the bad apples can ruin it for everyone if you just let them go around the streets just shooting at anybody they want, doing anything they want to do. It's going to put a bad taste in the mouth of the American Second Amendment.
Absolutely. And the ignorance to think that if you remove all the weapons from the law-abiding citizens, that you're leaving them in a better position to defend themselves. Fuck no. Guess who's still getting the guns? The people who are going to commit the crimes anyways. The people who are going to commit the crimes are always going to get the guns regardless.
Look at
Right?
Chicago. Look at New York. Guns are outlawed there. That's the most gun violence happens in probably two of those three cities, in Los Angeles.
Right. Exactly. Yes, exactly. The most the most anti-gun places have the most gun violence, right? And it's because most of those people are operating with illegal weapons. You don't think that gang members, people on the streets, drug dealers are using just firearms that are registered and they have licenses for them and they're easily traceable, etc. No, dude, these guys have guns where they remove the serial number. They're burner guns that you can't trace, that are passed around from one individual to another to be able to kill people, to be able to commit crimes, etc. Like, you think these people are just running around with a gun they bought at the gun shop with a serial number on it that they can track easily? No, they're using these weapons illegally already. So how are you gonna empower the people by removing it from the law-abiding citizen? It's always a law-abiding citizen that gets fucked, because though they don't want their weapons taken away, they're gonna obey the law. They're gonna have their weapon taken away, and then the people that would have broken the law anyways are still gonna have the weapons. They're gonna fuck over the people that abide by the laws.
Exactly.
It's once again shallow sympathy, shallow empathy for people. You think that by outlawing, by punishing the law abiding citizen, that you're somehow helping the law abiding citizen. No, you're not. You empower the people. In Texas, where everybody's fucking open carry and concealed carry in Texas, do you know how quickly crime gets thwarted in that state? Do you know how little violence occurs whenever when everybody is armed? The criminals are the ones who are disenfranchised. The criminals are the ones who are now unempowered, because all the law-abiding citizens, the majority of people, are all armed, know what to do in a situation when somebody's getting robbed or somebody's committing an act of violence. All of a sudden, the citizens themselves can act quicker than the police being able to show up and act on that.
That's a good point. Um, let's take a look at. I'm sure you heard about it, the New Orleans terror attack that happened on New
Yeah.
Year's Eve. If that guy, which he did, I guess the police responded brilliantly. It was a great job by the police force, but that guy rammed his truck through hundreds of people, then got out, and he was about to start shooting even more. If the citizens are not armed or anything by their own, he could go on for hours and just keep going until he runs into someone who's strong enough to actually take him down physically. But if you have a population against a terrorist who's shooting at a distance from you, and there's people armed against him themselves, they could take him down a lot quicker. Luckily, like I said, the police force was there. They did a great job apprehending him and killing him. But the people themselves could actually fight back against these terror attacks when these situations occur, if they have their own weapons, if they're armed. If you're not armed, and someone who wants to commit a crazy terror attack like that, they could go on for who knows how long until someone's willing to take them down or the police get there. But if you're armed yourself, you actually have a fighting chance of survival.
Exactly. You have the opportunity to defend yourself. It's like needing mommy and daddy to take care of you for everything, right? You don't want a population that looks at the government like mommy and daddy. Oh, mommy, daddy, I need help. I need help. I need help. Take care of me. Take care of me. Take care of me. And if they're not around, then you're a child on your back, an infant who's unable to defend themselves and unable to feed themselves. You'll die if mommy and daddy are not around. So you can't, that's not how you empower people. On an individual basis, you would never look at a child that you're trying to raise into a productive adult that can go out into society and be successful. You would never raise them to be fully dependent on their parents and always dependent on their parents. So why would you want the government to operate that way with you? No. Empower the individuals. Like you just said, if all the people are fucking armed and they're, now these people are all, a lot of them probably fucking hammered on in
Well,
Louisiana at that night.
that's a crime, but
Yeah.
don't carry your
That
gun while you're drinking.
For sure. Again, me and Bobby, we're reasonable. All right, we're not that outrageous. If you're boozed up, yeah, you shouldn't have a gun
Yeah,
on you.
leave the gun at home.
Leave the gun at home, 100%. It's all about being responsible. But if somebody's out there and they're sober, they're the DD for that night, they're there, they have their pistol on their hip, just in case, you never know, you're around with your friends, you're just enjoying the evening, something like that happens, like Bobby said, now you can actually do something about it. You can actually act and help your fellow citizen and protect your fellow citizen. This is the way that people got to think. We're supposed to be protecting each other, not taking away rights and preventing from people to be able to do things. Anytime you see bills added to the Constitution, or amendments added to the Constitution that are taking away rights from people, it's not a good thing. You don't ever want to see that verbiage, and you see that verbiage start to happen in the newer amendments on the Constitution. It's become the Constitution, the first 10, the Bill of Rights, and then a few after that. All of them are literally, if you read them, all giving rights to the Americans. This is your right. This is your right. You have the right of freedom of speech. You have the right to bear arms. You have the right to legal counsel. You have this right, this right, this right. As soon as the verbiage turned into actually you're not allowed to do this, you need to pay this much money, you're not allowed to do this. That's when it all changed. It's supposed to be empowering people, giving people rights, not taking them away from them. Bullshit.
I blame attorneys because attorneys, they're always trying to figure out a crime that somebody did. Prosecutors, they really jumble up. And also something we need is the deregulation, which I hope we're going to get with Elon and Vivek and Doge, just deregulating so much of this bullshit laws, especially around building and, making things better for people for industrial or just infrastructure inside the United States. We need things to get done quick. It took 2 years to build the Empire State Building. You know how long it takes you to build a skyscraper in New York City now? 10 years minimum. Planning, got to get past the city, got to get permits, got to do this, got to make sure all the material is eco-friendly. So it's just a whole bunch of bullshit that they stack on top of getting things done. And that's what we need to clear up and move past.
Correct. Yes, we're congested. You can't have a congested nation and expect to be able to compete at the highest levels with these other nations that are just growing at exponential rates. That's so true. Everything here takes so long to get approved, to get anything done. That's why nothing exciting has happened in the US for the past 60 or 40, 50 years. Like, what are we doing and what are we building that's exciting in the US? Nothing that I'm aware of. Zero. Zero architectural, anomalies, zero new skyscrapers. We used to have the tallest building in the world. Now we got fucking destroyed by the what's it called? The Burj Khalifa in Dubai. What happened to the US always having the biggest and the best? I haven't heard anybody talking about us building the new biggest skyscraper in the entire world. Why not? We used to have the biggest one. Why did we just give it up? We're just okay with losing now. We're just okay with being second place now. No, we should have been like, what the fuck? Burj Khalifa, my ass. Fuck it. We're putting up one in Texas bigger than the Burj Khalifa, right? That should be the mentality. Oh, well, do we really need that? No, we don't necessarily need it, but it's about being number one. It's about winning. It's about not being okay with losing. Because as soon as you accept second place, that's all you're ever going to get for the rest of your life. As soon as the United States started accepting second place and started accepting that we're not going to be number one in every category anymore, that's when it was downhill. That mindset that losing is okay. And you saw that at the ground level with children in sports. Participation medal. It's okay that you lost. Now, I was just thinking about this last night. Your mic keeps cutting out. What the fuck?
I hear you fine.
That must be John Doe. But as soon as we were okay with losing at the ground level with our children, that's the mentality that our nation adopted. It's not okay to lose. When was it okay to lose? No, you should tell your child, no, you lost. That's not okay. You got to try better and win next time. Not, oh, it's okay. Participation. You tried your best. What the fuck mindset is that? You're literally setting up your children for failure. It's not okay to lose. That's not okay. Because in the future, the consequences of losing could be your fucking nation getting invaded by another country that decides to come in and fucking rape your women and children. So it's okay to lose in that scenario? No, it's not. It's not okay to lose. Fucking weak mindset.
I think it has a lot to do with wealthy companies and wealthy people's interests not being where it should be. Like we talked about, being home, building here, as opposed to the military industrial complex. All their interests, Congress's interests, everybody's interest is overseas, fighting nonsense wars or foreign policy with other people. Nobody's bringing it back here to invest. Like all the money, like who's the largest real estate company in America? BlackRock? Are they? Probably.
They probably own the most, yeah.
So let's say BlackRock's the largest real estate company in the United States. What does BlackRock build? They're not building any buildings, they're buying up all of our buildings, all of our single family homes, but are they actually building buildings? Like, I don't think so. They're fighting wars, they're probably funding the war in Ukraine to go in there and own the land there. So
yep,
I don't think that a lot of people's interest has been in the United States and building here, but hopefully that changes over the next couple of years.
Yeah, exactly. Bring it back home. Go back to being number one and wanting to be number one. That's what Trumpino, that's the energy that he brings in is winner's mentality, a savage mentality. You don't like his personality? Well, I would rather have that guy on my team than the guy that don't give a fuck, the guy that's a pussy and really nice to everybody and everybody likes him because he's super PC and he, lies to your face to make you feel better about yourself. I would rather the guy that makes me uncomfortable and says the truth to my face, but know that he's telling me the truth, as opposed to the guy that makes me feel good when I'm around him, but really he's bullshitting me and lying about everything he's telling me and just going behind my back and fucking me.
Biden.
People are so, yeah, Biden. People are so, yeah, exactly. Nobody's above the law. I'll never pardon Hunter. Boom. Full pardon. Everything you've ever done, Hunter. Good. Just like lying to your face.
Lying to
That
your
doesn't bother
face.
you? Lying to your fucking face. And people are okay with it. Oh, yeah, lie to me some more. It makes me feel better. Fucking coward.
That's exactly what it is. Just telling people what they want to hear, and then going and doing the complete opposite to line your pockets or to whatever he's doing. Insanity.
Give me the dude that's fucking volatile but's going to tell me the truth. I would prefer him because at least I know what I'm going to get with him. I know what I'm going to get with him. My grandfather used to say this, my nono. He said, he was never afraid of criminals because you know what you're going to get with a criminal. Who really scared him was stupid people because you don't know what they're going to do. He said you can't trust dumb people. Stupid people are the worst because you don't know what they're going to do. Criminal, I know he's going to rob me when I turn my back, but at least I know that. I know what he's going to do, so I can prepare for that. I can't prepare against a fucking stupid person.
All right. Well, I think
Well,
that's a good place to leave it for today. Welcome in to all the viewers we had. Make sure to subscribe, like the stream, comment. If you guys had any questions, make sure to drop that in the comments below. Also, check out the Taylor's Code. Links in our descriptions and in our bios of YouTube here, where we talk about crypto, e-commerce, all different ways to make money online. Join the community. I'm sure you guys could find something of value in there as we built that out for all different types of people. So make sure to go check that out. Any closing remarks, Priyama?
yeah, so the link will be in my channel bio, so click on the properly paid YouTube channel. And when you go to my channel, you'll see the link for the Taylor's Code in the description. It'll be school.com/the Taylor's Code. Now, why would you join? Like Bobby was saying, you want an opportunity to be able to make money online without having to live in a certain type of location, without having a ceiling on your income, then join the organization. We have people making money in crypto, sales, e-commerce, affiliate marketing, content creation. Join and find a way to make money. We will help you make money in any realm, whatever it is you choose to do. We will help you make money. It is $25 a month. You spend that at McDonald's. Don't lie to me. I know you spend that at McDonald's. So once a month, how about you lay off the McDonald's? Try to look semi decent as a human being. Don't keep getting all fucking, these jelly rolls on your stomach. Pass on one McDonald's meal. Enter the organization, join an organization of winners like myself and Bobby, learn how to make money, and then when you're making $10,000 a month, guess what? You can buy all the fucking McDonald's you want now. That's called investing in yourself, investing in your career and your lifestyle. So join the organization, like, comment, subscribe to the stream, subscribe to the channel. If you guys aren't ready to, obviously take the plunge and join the organization, just continue to show up on YouTube, get the juice for free. Just make sure you like, comment, subscribe. And yeah, let's light the fucking world on fire this year. Bobby, good shit.
Good shit. We'll see you guys tomorrow for the Ultimate Market Professionals, and then Sunday with me, Sunday Conversation.
Exactly. Yes. Make sure you guys subscribe. If you're on my stream, I had a couple of viewers. Make sure you subscribe to Bobby's YouTube channel. Show Bobby Neishman. It's Bobby Neishman, right?
Mm-hmm.
The channel. Yeah. So the same thing as his